All right. Before we get to today's Sit Down Zumock podcast, you're not going to want to miss it. I want to thank you, the listener, the subscriber, the Patreon member. Because of you, you make this little boat go. This is coming from the captain who steers the ship. So thank you so much. I don't know where you listen, whether it's on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Google Play. Thank you. Thank you very much. Or my YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't hit subscribe, do it now because you can get the video portion of this on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/sit down Zumock. That's also if you're in the $10 range on Patreon, which you can subscribe to is for as little as $3. Patreon.com/sit down Zumock. That's patreon.com/sit down Zumock. Check out all the reward tiers that you can get. It's the best way you can support a comedian right now. Tim Dillon, I will bring this up every single time. I love Tim Dillon. I just opened for Tim Dillon. He is making, no joke, $125,000 a month. That's not even including live reads, his stand-up shows, his meet and greets, or whatever he's doing. That's impressive. So if you have $3, go ahead and sign up to the Patreon. I'm doing all kinds of cool rewards. I'm changing the tiers. Get tickets to my show, meet and greets, bonus episodes, Mondays with Mazer. Go check it out if you haven't already. And if you want to sponsor the Sit Down Zumock podcast, and let's be honest, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? I will speak passionately about your product, your agenda. What are you running from? What are you running for? Let me talk about it. Let me sell you. The days of advertising on terrestrial radio, you're throwing your money away. It's over, people. I'm sorry, it is over. Look at the YouTube numbers on a lot of terrestrial radio shows. They are so low, so low. Why are you wasting your advertising dollar there? People are finding things. Technology's changing. People are evolving. I know you have your old habits, getting in the car, turning on the radio. Well, now I've been in a couple. I just took an Uber. The guy he didn't have radio. He had buttons that he pushed. It said Pandora. It said iHeart. It said iTunes. It said Laughable. He had all the apps on his dashboard. So it's changing. So you're going to want to get behind a podcast, a passionate podcast that's passionate about products, passionate about pushing, especially local business is what I'm interested in. Of course, I'll take your Pepsi ads, your Coca-Cola, but let me push the local, the little guy, because I'm the little guy in the podcasting world. I'm not Joe Rogan, okay? I know where I stand in this business, but I got followers. I got fans, and these fans are passionate. So let's start out with my number one selling hot sauce. I've talked about it each and every week for the past year or so because I have my own hot sauce. And if you haven't had it, what's wrong with you? You have issues. Go get it right now. Go to silkcityhotsauce.com. Bookmark that bitch, and you can get Z-Man's Mango Madness, Florida's greatest tropical sauce, the number one selling sauce at Silk City Hot Sauce. Go there now. Buy it. Use the promo code ZUMOCK. That's my last name, ZUMOCK. Look on the description. You get 15% off your order, and you also get a free bottle. And Jeff might switch it up because he has a lot of variety. But right now, cherry Ciroc, some stickers. You're going to want to try this hot sauce. All organic, no fillers, grown from a garden. You a hot sauce connoisseur? I am. When Jeff, he mails me packages, and sometimes after my show, I will sell this hot sauce, and they are gone quickly, very quickly. So go order yours now. And if you see me live, hit me up. I might have some, maybe. Like I said, they go quickly. SilkCityHotSauce.com. Follow them on all social media, which brings us to our next presenting sponsor. Again, local. I go local because I believe in local. Because when you go local, there's energy behind it. There's ambition. They care. There's desire. And Perry Skincare has been on board since day one, 2016. Perry Skincare, which is also Sophia. And you could go to perryskincare.com right now. You can see the skincare products that Lisa Stewart produces. I told you the story about how I got involved with Perry Skincare. Back home where I'm from, Ohio, there's a small little salon in Brecksville, Ohio. And I met Lisa after one of my shows. We got to talking. She told me what she's up to. She's an entrepreneur. She developed this facial cream, this skincare cream that you put on your face that I've been putting on since 2016. I was part of her little lab before she started manufacturing it by the bulk. And I got to tell you, ever since then, I've been addicted. This is what if I don't wear it every day, I feel naked. And that's not even a sales pitch. It's just what I feel like. I'll email her or I'll just mail her like, dude, I'm out of Perry. I need Perry. I need Sophia. Can you please send me some? It's all natural. Everything in here is natural. You got vitamin C, you got vitamin B, you got everything you need in a skincare product, and it's all natural, no chemicals. So this is the stuff you want to put on your face. Look at my face right now. Okay. I'm an older man now. I look like crap, but my skin has no wrinkles. There's no wrinkles in my skin. At my age, being out in the sun every day in Tampa, Florida, you should have wrinkles. I have none. So this stuff brightens it. It exfoliates it, tightens it. You just put the cream on your face. You rub it in there after you get out of the shower and you feel like $1,000,000. You look like $1,000,000. There's a glow. It's soft. If you use the promo code CHAD10, that's CHAD10, CHAD, the number 10, right? You can get 10% off your order. And like I said, $100 or more, free shipping. So go check that out. Use the skincare. Let me know what you think. Send me a message. Send Lisa a message. I think you'll be pleased with this. Again, Sophia Perry Skincare. Boom, boom. And I mentioned it earlier, the Patreon. Patreon.com/Sit Down Zumock. Check it out. Again, little as $3. I think that's the cheapest Patreon around. Everyone else is charging $5. I charge $3. But there's different tiers, 10, 20. And for $100, you can be a local sponsor for 1 month. So if you, like I said, you have a business, you got a product, an agenda, send me a direct message on all social media. My name's Chad Zumock. If you haven't guessed already, the captain, the Z-Man, you know me, Florida's greatest, Florida's most wanted. And we could talk business. All right. With that being said, let's get to today's episode of Sit Down Zumock. Holla. All right, it's the Sit Down Zumock podcast. It's me, the Z-Man, the Lawson's Chip Dip consumer, the has-been baller, the captain, coming live and direct from Tampa, Florida, in full effect. And speaking of Tampa, Florida, you can see our next guest Thursday, August 12th through August 14th at Tampa Side Splitters. Tyler, are you ready for today's guest?
I'm excited, man. Yeah, of course.
Listen, this guy wears many hats. He's the opposite of Men Without Hats. You remember that 80s band? The Safety Dance? Yeah, you can go where you want to. You can leave your friends behind. But if your friends don't dance and if they don't dance, well, no friends of mine. Anyways, no offense to the little guy in that video. Speaking of little guys, I'll be at the Tampa Improv this weekend with Brad Williams. But let's get to today's guest. He is an actor, a podcaster, a published author, a comedian. My friend, Jamie Kennedy. How are you, Jamie?
Dude, what an intro. Dude. Look at this. You're balling. You're zooming out here, man. We're in the car. We're in the Publix parking lot. What do we got?
Zumock zooming out. Are you on your deck? Where you at?
Dude, get off my deck. I'm on outside. I was going to be in my office, but I was like, why don't I give Chad a little sunshine? But you're in Florida. But it's real nice in LA right now.
You know what's great about Tyler? Jamie Kennedy went on vacation like a year or so ago, and he put on a Hawaiian shirt, and it's never come off.
I was actually looking up men's Hawaiian shirts just yesterday. Actually. So.
Hollister, baby. Check this out. So I did Vegas this weekend, and I was fucking first time I was indoors, and I'm doing the shows. And by the way, Fremont Street, people are back to like spitting in each other's mouths. It was that close.
Wow.
And I look like I did a riff, and I said, I look like I should open a rum bar by like St. Petersburg, somewhere down there, right? Don't I look like I'm ready to just make the move?
Yeah, I
to
think
go down
ready.
To Florida.
I think it's time to exit LA and come to Florida and just die on the beach with Hulk Hogan.
Dude, I've done like 6 gigs in San Diego. I've got another gig in Phoenix. So the next place I'm going is Florida. So we'll see. But this is where I've been. I've been like driving. So but it's there. But I have to fly to, I don't know, maybe I'll drive to Florida.
I follow you. I follow you on social media, and what I like about you as a celebrity, quote unquote.
Thank you.
You're very, very opinionated, which is refreshing. Like, you're not afraid to take not necessarily, you take your own opinion. It might not necessarily be the popular opinion, but it's refreshing to hear.
Well, thank you, Chad. I mean, coming from you, that's a compliment because we know you have opinions.
Yeah.
You know what, dude? It's like, here's what I want to say is, you tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like we're all going to either be working for Disney Plus or have a Patreon. That's about it, right? Like, there's kind of no in between anymore. Like, and so I fuck with both worlds. You know, I've always been fortunate where stand-up comedy and acting went together. You know, some of our biggest of all time did both. But now I feel like comics, you know, no diss to the acting community, which I love, are the last bastion of really kind of saying what it is, right? And but now with certain stuff what comics say, it's like, ooh, what road are we walking down? So I feel more a kinship right now with the comedy community. So I have to walk that line because sometimes comics say things that Hollywood will get mad at, but I don't even know what the line is anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, you're in a weird position because you're a comedian. You're considered a comedian. We all look at you as a comedian. You put your work in. You made a movie about it, for Christ's sakes. But you're also in a Brad Pitt film. So that's a weird thing to balance.
Well, I kind of got cut out of that, but that's a whole other story.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But you find you had a couple somewhere, the DVD extras. I'm in there. But the thing is that, yeah, so with the opinions, I don't know, dude, it's so bizarre right now. Don't you, like, I feel like we just have to say what we feel, you know, as long as you can kind of stand behind it, I guess. You know what I mean?
Well, you've done it in Hollywood. I said that on a couple of podcasts. You did all you pretty much can do. I struggled last time I was out there. I started in LA in 2004 and I just had nothing but fond memories. And I went back out there and it was a completely different game and I couldn't play it. I just didn't have it in me. And that's why I moved to Florida and canceled myself.
Wait, so
I'm self-canceled.
So you're self-canceled. You know what, man? I think but it's interesting time because clubs are opening up and also outdoor shows are incredible. Like, I'm doing like these fields and they're charging like $25 a ticket to get into the field, you know? So I'm all about, you know, the entrepreneurial way. And there's a lot of it. And you've been doing comedy. Don't you feel like the crowds are robust?
You can get away, and people always talk about PC culture and everything. I'm telling you, you can get away with anything now because people are so ready to laugh. We're in the club. They know what the risks are. They're there for a reason. They're like, get me out of this damn house. Say something to make me laugh. They don't care what it is. Yeah.
But you went right to the heart of it. You went to Tampa. Now, are you going to Mons Venus? Do you have a VIP table set up, or how's it working?
Well, when I was leaving LA, I was going to move to New York because I had a couple things lined up, and I saw the pandemic. It's never going to happen with Sirius XM, and I was just like, and I always said, listen, if I hit a certain age, I'm just moving to Florida because I love it. I love it here. It's fun. It's open. And it's the best decision I ever made. Like, I'm gigging every weekend, and that's all I really wanted to do. That's it. You and different comedians I know, like Flip Schultz and Esther Koo, you guys have been busy every night. And those Jimmy Schubert,
Shubes,
Steve
all
Simone.
You guys, Simone's. So it's all like a robust. It looks like the community's bustling. So I can't wait to get down there.
Yeah. Hey, Tyler, when I said Jamie Kennedy was going to be on the show, what did you text me back?
I said, what did I say? I said, I'm going to be watching Malibu's Most Wanted this week. I was so excited just because I grew up on Kennedy Experience, all of it, you know? So every little thing was like, it's like, no shit. Like,
He's much younger than us, by the way, Jamie.
Wow. Same beard though, right, Ty?
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm in the car, you know, traffic.
Looking for your chapstick. Feeling kind of car sick. This Ford Maverick. Come on, Ty. Finish it out, dog.
I'll fit. Yeah. You're right.
You know what, Chad? I know how he's such a huge fan because he goes, I love the Jamie Kennedy Experience, which was close. My opener said that this weekend. He goes, he's a big guy from the Jamie Kennedy Experience. It's Experiment. But thank you, Ty. It was very close. It was very close.
You're right.
At least you didn't call it the Jamie Kennedy Excrement.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're thinking
I
Jimi
wouldn't do that to
Hendrix. You're thinking Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Now, Jamie, the one thing I know everything about you, but one thing I never realized, you were in that movie Bowfinger with Steve Martin and Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
Dude, I didn't even know that. I just checked your IMDb thing before this. How did that happen? What was that like? Did you tell him you were a comedian? Like, how did that all come together?
I auditioned a few times, and I just kept going and going, and then I finally got the final audition with Frank and Steve Martin and Frank Oz, the director, and Brian Grazer, producer, and they're like, yeah, you're funny, and then I got it. It was cool because back then people would kind of let in the room, you got a vibe that you're gonna be able to do it. Then
you auditioned in front of Steve Martin?
Yeah,
that's
improv.
How nerve-wracking is that? Him. Were you fine though?
It was definitely nerve-wracking, but I had a few movies under my belt, so as nerve-wracking as it was, I knew the steps to like put that in one box and like, okay, this is a legend and a fucking genius, and then like, but still like know that I could walk through the steps and try to play with him. But can you hear me? Nothing went down, did it?
Sound great.
Okay, good. I got the movie, which was incredible. And I always just tell everybody it was like going to comedy, pretty much comedy PhD, like MBA. Like it was Steve Martin, Eddie Murphy for 3 months. And I, got to be in scenes with them. And I was like Steve's sidekick. And we were always chasing Eddie in the movie. And then Eddie played 2 characters, and it was incredible. And Steve wrote it, and he worked with Frank all the time. So it was pretty much a comedy class. And I talked to him about comedy, and he gave me the greatest advice because I had done comedy about 4 years before. And then I started getting really busy as an actor. So I really wasn't doing it very much, and I had like 8 minutes, enough to get like a TV spot, which you get, that was the way you did in the 90s. And he says, yeah, you want to do comedy, right? Like full time. And I was like, yeah, and do this and act well. And he said, are you willing to go to Dubuque? And I said, yeah. And he said, are you sure? And I said, yeah. And he goes, if you're willing to go to Dubuque and then drive to the next city, do comedy. But if you're not, don't. That was a pretty, you know what I mean? And he's basically saying you got to get in there to get good. I know you got 8 minutes, but to get an hour, you got to grind it out. You ain't on a movie set. Yeah. And I thought that was pretty amazing advice.
Did you talk to Eddie at all? Like, what were some side conversations?
Eddie, I got to talk to a little bit. He was such a huge, him and Steve were such my, as young Tyler here, maybe, I don't know if I had that impact on them, but they were like my gods, they still are, I grew up with King Tut. I grew up with Delirious. I grew up consuming, and this was like when we didn't have anything else, as you know, Chad. So it was like, you got that album or you got that HBO and you watched it when it was on, and that was it. You couldn't even tape it. So I got to talk a little bit within the scenes, but not really, but I just was more of like, completely like watching, consuming, trying to react. It was incredible. It was, watching geniuses at work, and it was a beautiful comedy class. And Heather Graham and and Frank Oz and Ron Howard produced it. Robert Downey Jr. was in it for a couple scenes. I got to work with him, and it was pretty. There's a lot of stories. Some I can share with you here, and some I can share with you off camera.
Yeah, when you're in Tampa, tell me off camera.
All positive.
Sure. Now, listen, Tyler, what else you want to ask Jamie, since you were pumped up about this? This is like a Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Right.
What car are we in over there, Ty?
Oh, the wonderful white Honda Civic, 2012.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, I love it. It's I bought a stick shift on purpose. And then, and that's when I realized like stick shift in traffic is the fucking worst, especially uphill. No, I've been impressed with like how you were able to move out to LA and almost sell yourself. Does that make sense? You found a way to get out there. So I was interested in like what that takes, you know, what that kind of drive is to even do that, to just like, I guess even move in general. Is that like a like
How old are you?
31. So
Well, I mean, like, are you asking me like what motivated me to get into this business?
yeah, of course, like take the dive, because you did that. You jumped right in. Did I freeze?
You're good.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
No.
You know what, dude? I said this on I do a lot of YouTube videos, and I said this on my YouTube channel about what got me going. But you know, you're a comedian, right?
No, I'm not. I just do video work. Yeah,
He's a big fan of comedy.
I'm a
He
fan.
loves comedy.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, so you know, I think Chad will back me up on this. Like, to do comedy, you have to be in some sort of pain. Not everybody, but probably most of your favorite people are in pain. You know, I don't think Bill Hicks was probably happy a lot. You know what I mean? There are people that are very, you know, that have a pretty normal life that are very funny too. I mean, it's rare, I believe, probably, but it is. But so I think that comedy is kind of it's the last house on the left, dude. It's kind of like no one else wants you. You know, I wasn't doing anything. I was working at Domino's Pizza. I was breaking it down the other day. I felt like I was in a huge family. I didn't get enough attention in my family. I was an extra baby. Like, I was at the end of the birth cycle. I had medical problems as a kid. I went to Catholic school. I had a bunch of friends like Chad. We were all like, thank God we had each other. I'm like, yo, that priest is fucking weird, right? And I'm like, yeah, he's fucking weird. Like, if I didn't have that, we all had each other, and we were like this. So we had this commentary within my neighborhood. There was 10 kids in my neighborhood who could have done what I did. Some of them went to jail. Some of them became successful real estate people, and some of them are on drugs. I mean, that's the truth. Like Mayor of Easttown, I haven't seen it yet, but apparently that's like about near where my hood is, I guess. And so I was just pushed. I went to LA as a young child. My parents took us all out on the trip, and I fell in love with it at 9 years old. I know that sounds weird, but I was like, this is for me. I always loved the sun. And I moved out, and I said, here's what I said. I said, I'll give myself a year. And then after a year, if I can get one extra job, I'll see if I can give myself another year. So, I mean, to get an extra job in a year is really not that hard unless you don't get up. So then after the first year, I got a few extra jobs, and I said, I'm going to give myself 10 years. See, most people give these unrealistic expectations, but I was like, I'll give myself 10, because I said I'll only be 30 if I'm out here for 10 years. And I had read about like Jay Moore started younger than me, 17, Dave Chappelle, I think 15, Eddie Murphy, 15. So I was already like, man, I'm starting comedy at 19. That's kind of like late. So I had unrealistic expectations, and I gave myself a long time. And then I really loved it. Dude, I would bomb 5 nights in a row, but just one tiny laugh from some hipster barista that said, hey, man, that was kind of funny, it was enough to go, oh, my God, this is it. I'm on it. You know what I mean? Because that's all you had. I mean, we're talking 1990, bro. We didn't have anything other than an open mic and a pen.
Was there ever a...
You have to love what you do. And you have to see. And I was around enough people in the business where I would see them at a comedy club, at an open mic, at a comedy club, and then I would see them on like a TV show for like 2 seconds. And I was like, ooh, you know, like you'd bump into Damon Wayans', you'd see the guy who opened for Damon Wayans, and Damon Wayans was like over there, and you're like, oh my God, it's Damon Wayans, you know? So it's those type of things that got me very, like, gave me hope.
Yeah. Was there ever a 30 years old, didn't make it? Was there a plan B, or was it just like, figure it out then.
Mine was Tampa, Florida, if you're asking me.
Are we in Plan B right now? Did you take the morning? Are you in the morning after pill phase of your career?
100%.
But you're thriving. Yeah, dude. I often tried. Here's the other thing: is I often tried to quit. I've tried to quit at least I can think of 3 or 4 times. So I was like, "This is stupid."
Oh shit.
Yeah, but what was I quitting? I had nothing. I was already just gonna work at Domino's again. So it was like you're already. If you're a good comic, you kind of are at nothing, and so you're just using that to build up. But the thing is, there is no Plan B. You can't have a Plan B. You tell me if I'm wrong, Chad. Like Madonna, Madonna says to be a world star, you have to have 48 hours in a day. Like, there's not a guy that becomes a doctor and says, my Plan B, I'm going to be a lawyer in case this doctoring thing comes out. You need all the time in the world to fucking even write 2 new minutes. It takes fucking days. You know what I mean? So. No, you can never have a Plan B. That's my belief, and I believe anybody who's doing it would believe that.
Now, Jamie, I got something for you. I want to pitch something. You're going to be at Soul Joel's in your home, near your hometown.
Yeah,
at the end of the month. Yeah, and that's a cool venue. And you said you worked at Domino's. Was that back in Philly?
Yeah.
I thought of a great idea. Jamie Kennedy returns to his job at Domino's, and you film it and deliver pizzas for a day.
That sounds incredible.
You go back to your first job to revisit it.
See if it's still there. Who knows what it is now? It could be a Chipotle.
And just have a guy follow you with the camera and your experience of kind of doing a reset.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. That's a pretty good idea. I like it. I mean, right. I have to bring Tyler to film it with me.
You'll drive across
get you out of Tampa.
Oh, he's in Ohio, actually. He's in Ohio.
I'm in Ohio. I'm in Cincinnati.
Wow, this is a multinational.
I'll be there tonight. I'll pick up the pizza for you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that.
Hey, speaking of Philly, I told you I wanted to talk about this because I saw the movie trailer. I didn't see the movie, but your new movie, Last Call, where you have a ponytail and you look kind of jacked. Did you lift weights for this film?
I did. I was working out. I was supposed to be a guy that was like a little bit of like a meathead. And yeah, I had my ponytail. And I ate, I was in Philly, so I was eating more like cheesesteaks and the stuff that I grew up on. But yeah, that was an awesome experience. I got to work with Jeremy and Taryn Manning and Kathy Moriarty. And
more importantly, Bruce Dern. Yeah,
Bruce is we were all just that's like one of our goats in Hollywood. And, he's amazing. We would just improvise and he would just improvise more than us. And he was we did something where we were talking about different sex positions. And I said a plate job, and he's like, a plate job? What in the fuck? And he would didn't know what a plate job was. And then they didn't keep it in the movie, but then he was like, what? That's fucking disgusting. It was hilarious. He's just a legend to work with him. And I mean, he worked with John Wayne. He worked with Elia Kazan. I mean, the guy is incredible.
He worked with Carrie Fisher in The Burbs.
Yeah, he did. You're right. He's done it all. You want to talk about somebody who's done it all? He's done it all, dude.
John Wayne to The Burbs. I love The Burbs. That's one of my favorite films.
Yeah, low key amazing. Low key Tom Hanks' best movie in a way. It's a great movie.
So what's the movie about? And where is it out? Where's it? Where can you get it?
It's on your pen. If you hook your pen. No, it's the way things are now, dude. We were gonna be in movie theaters, but it came out during the pandemic. So it's on Prime. It's on DirecTV Cinema that you can order the movie. I believe it's on iTunes. I believe it's on the streaming services, but it's doing pretty well. But it was a wonderful movie, and it was shot in Philly and Jersey. It's about a guy. So it's based on a guy who's kind of who I grew up with, actually. And it's about him and his Jeremy plays this guy who basically. I grew up in Philly, and it was kind of a blue collar area. It's called Delco, right outside of Philly. And I grew up pretty nice, but we definitely had a blue collar Eagles veteran stadium type of mentality, Philly, like the snowballs of Santa, that's all real. And a guy I grew up with was like what I say, like some people I know are in jail, which is weird. Other people have massive drug problems. Other people, like some people like me, I became an actor. This guy became a huge real estate maven. So he became very successful and he wrote a movie about it. So it's basically about a guy who goes back to his old neighborhood, which is happening in this area in real life, and it's being gentrified. And so the whole thing is like, do I take the neighborhood? Do I gentrify it and take all the money and kick out all the people I love? Or like, do I find a way to do it? That's like the struggle that Jeremy has as he's falling in love with a girl from his high school. And it's a feel good type of movie, got some dramedy undertones, but the thing is real because it's happening to the neighborhood and it's like people are being displaced, but like there's this whole gentrification thing happening. So that's the rough of it.
All right. I'm going to check that out if it's on the Prime.
It's on the Prime, dude.
Oh yeah. That's great. Now, Tyler,
you always wear that hat. This is a new thing for you, by the way.
I'm the captain. I steer the ship, my friend, at ease.
All right.
Now, Tyler, where were you in 1996 when the movie Scream came out?
6 years old. I was 6 years old.
Wow.
I don't think it was another maybe 2 years before I was allowed to watch it, honestly.
Who allows their 8-year-old to watch that movie?
You should be my parents one day, Dude,
I can't tell you how many people come up to me at conventions and they go, she loves Scream. And the baby's like, like, who does that?
Right.
People are, you can't do that.
I think I was 10 when I watched The Exorcist and I had to watch it alone. Right. And so that's where it was like,
why?
Who the fuck's going to watch it with me? I guess,
another 10-year-old friend.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. No, but 6 years old, 96.
Dude, I watched The Exorcist at around 10 too. It fucked me up forever, 10 or 11. But I watched it with another friend of mine and it fucked me up forever. So Scream was a warm up to that.
No, to this day, I'm in my 40s and I'm still terrified if I see clips of Linda Blair going down the stairs backwards. It's the craziest thing of all time.
Oh, 100%. 1,000%. It's still trippy, dude. She was in Scream. I want to say Scream or Scream 2. And she's the sweetest person. And I was just looking at her and I'm like, and she's like, what? She's like, I was just like, it tripped me out, man. It totally tripped me out.
I heard she got trouble having roles after that movie because it was so realistic, even as a child.
I kind of heard something. I don't know, but I kind of heard that too. I mean, I bet her and Carrie Fisher were up for similar stuff because they have a similar look. So I don't know. I might have heard that. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, dude, that was like that movie. If it came out today, would be freaked out. I'd be freaked out. It's Mount Rushmore, bro.
And another, do you remember the Different Strokes episode with Gordon Jump playing Mr. Horton in the bike shop?
Oh God, that was a very special. Yeah,
very with Dudley. He had a tough time getting roles after that too because you play these realistic situations.
Gordon did?
Yeah, he had a tough time getting, even though he was on WKRP. It was tough for him to break out of that. Like, that's Mr. Horton. You become the devil and you become Mr. Horton because there wasn't a lot of that. Yeah. So back then.
Ooh. Yeah. I mean, that was like the episode where it was like at the end of it, like, now kids, if they had a PSA, like if you see a stranger, don't go into the bike shop with them. Like that was, yeah. Wow. This podcast took a turn.
Yeah, well, my original point being is in 96, I was fresh out of high school and I saw the movie Scream. Obviously, it's a legendary film, but I also saw on YouTube you guys had a little reunion. recently?
Yeah, we did that. We did something for charity over the pandemic, and it was awesome. And I guess, because the 25th is going to come out in January of next year, people ask me about it, but I'm like, I've been dead for 3 movies, so it's like, I don't know what to tell you, like that's, I walked in front of the van and, my paycheck went down, but it's revived, dude. It's going to be like, people are really talking about it. So it's nice because it's almost like the Screamverse, you know what I mean? Like they're like, got a young cast, and we'll see where it goes. MTV has a show, so awesome.
I went to the movies last week for the first time in a year and a half, and it was the whole.
How was that?
The whole movie going experience. You realize how awesome it still is, and how much I missed it. I went and saw the.
Was
Quiet
it
Place.
packed?
No, there's only 3 people in the theater, but it was fantastic.
Did anyone sneeze?
No, nobody sneezed. But I went and saw the Quiet Place Part 2, and it just reminded me how great going to the movies was.
So movies are going to be back then.
100%. I mean, the thing is the West Coast where you're at is such a bubble. It seems like you guys almost get your own different news cycle, and you guys are on another. I don't know what it is or why that is, but I mean,
dude,
I'm out there.
The ArcLight is shutting down.
That's sad.
So how are movie theaters opening? If that's one of the greatest movie theaters ever, how is that shutting down?
It's just a LA, California thing. The governor, I don't know what's going on. Politics is definitely playing a hand in it. And
are you guys open?
100%. Side splitters.
So you go in a Wingstop with no mask?
I just went to Whole Foods without a mask on.
And is there plexiglass?
I mean, the employees have like plexiglass too, but there's some, like we have Publix here, like nobody's wearing a mask. Nobody that works there, nothing.
So, dude, downtown market, I was getting a coffee and the guy was like, can you and I get the coffee and then I stand over here and he's like, yeah, you can. And I'm like, here, vector of disease, here, hero, like what? The virus doesn't know that this is the coffee sipping zone. So literally that's happening, dude. Like you order the coffee, go to another piece of tape, and that's where you can sip it. Is that not happening in Florida?
No, like it's, I love the one rule. You can walk in, you have to wear a mask walking in, but when you dine, you could take it off, even though you're breathing the same air.
Well, because the virus will wait for you. It waits till you're done your appetizers.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. But like, you're right, because I'm thinking LA is like that. Now, Phoenix is more open, but LA, there are people jogging with masks. Now, I don't do that, but we have to go into a Whole Foods. We have to wear a mask.
Yeah. When you come here in August, you're going to lose your mind. You're not going to believe it. It's freedom. It's unbelievable how each state is handling this state by state basis.
Vegas, they just said that we're not opening up the 15th partially now. It's wow, that's crazy. So Florida's back to normal.
Pretty much. I mean, there's still people wearing masks, but for the most part, it's side splitters, full capacity. They've been full capacity for months. I did shows with Tim Dillon recently. It was like sold out on a Tuesday and Wednesday. Everyone's touching each other. Nobody cares.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now wait, what about Ohio?
It's open. Ohio's open. I don't think Kentucky ever closed.
Huntington Beach didn't know there was an outbreak.
Right. Yeah, no, Ohio's wide open. Same shit. If you walk in, what I do, dude. I actually, if I see someone who looks stressed out with a mask on, I always keep mine in my back pocket and I'll throw it on just if I'm walking by them. But other than that, wide open. Doesn't matter.
Wow.
What I never understood is during the pandemic, they kept liquor stores open, but they closed the gyms. I never understood that. Like mental health was so important, and the gyms are probably one of the cleanest places, according to the gym I go to.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, well, you can go down that rabbit hole. I mean, they want people all fucked up, right? Who knows? You could, maybe they didn't want people to be in good health. I don't fucking know. It's weird. It's so crazy. You're right. We are in a complete bubble here.
Are you vaccinated? What's your situation?
I'm still looking at that.
Okay. No, that's fine. You're allowed to have.
That's like a big question you got to ask. That's like personal.
I mean, are you a virgin?
It's very political these days.
Well, I'm looking at that. Wait, are you vaccinated?
I am not.
Wait, are you, Tyler?
Yeah.
He froze.
No, I had both shots.
See, so
Chad, no, I did. Yes.
You have to cut that part out. So, because, in order for us to work, we have to say we are. So, yes, we're both vaccinated. Got through the shots, but wow. Let me see if I'm vaccinated. Okay, I'm not.
Are you skeptical of that? Do you have
Of course, dude. Everyone who I know got vaccinated. Oh God, you're gonna get in trouble. You can't say this. Well, I noticed when people that I knew that were very healthy.
But this is why I like you. You have opinions. I like this.
People were very healthy, and then they got vaccinated, and I didn't see them for a week. And I'm like, where are we at? They're like, oh, dude, the second shot. I'm like, you were fine. Like, I know, but it's for my health. Yo, dude, go look at Mary Romano. She does it. I posted a bit about it. Young comedian. She had her arm was like this. So yeah, I'm a little gonna wait. Is that okay?
No, it's fine. You're right as an American. You're an American guy. And here's the thing. With that being said,
United Airlines will not let you fly without a vaccination now. Did you see that?
That's why I fly Delta.
They make you show your card or?
Yeah, it just was reported.
So people are making up rules as they go. Airlines, restaurants, everyone makes up a rule as they go. And I don't understand it. It's kind of rule. It's weird.
Why didn't you get the jab?
I'm skeptical of our government. I don't trust them. I think this whole pandemic was dealt with poorly. And I've been in Florida, and I've 100% would have had it by now. I've done meet and greets. Sorry. I'm healthy. I take vitamin D. I take zinc. I'm out in the sun. I'm healthy. I'm not in that range of diabetic or old. So I don't understand what the problem is.
You don't drink or anything, right?
I haven't been, no, but I once upon a time, yes. I'm in a good health spot right now.
You get that D.
Oh yeah.
You take that D. I take that D, and I get in the sun.
You take that Z?
I'm with you. That D.
You take the Z.
C,
the zinc.
The C, D. I just feel that I'm just waiting. You know what I mean? I'm just waiting. I don't know. There's too much talk, right?
I'm with you.
But it's weird because it's even here's the thing. If you were to say certain stuff about it and put it on YouTube, your video would be demonetized. So that makes already going, what? But then people get so mad if you question it. That's also why are you so, you know what I mean? It's like the person that owes you $5,000 and you go and got that money. You think I would steal from you, right? But it's weird, bro. It's I don't know what's going to happen.
So this conversation is going to get demonetized on my YouTube. Should I delete it?
Dude, is this on YouTube?
It's going to go on YouTube. Yeah.
You're fucked.
Really?
You cannot. Yes, dude.
We'll just say limited.
Tyler, you didn't tell him this?
No, I didn't know we were going to get into all this.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, Chad. You got to have an idea where you're going. You got to use terms like the jab, or you got to use the pokey poke. So, because now you're fucked. So what I would suggest you do is mute that part.
Will it just go to limited ads now, or just demonetize?
No. In fact, you might get a flag.
It's just Fauci addressing the public, actually, from now on.
Here, let me fix it all. I think everybody should get vaccinated.
There you go. Right?
See,
Done.
It's
I'm gonna run
good for
I'm
them.
gonna put an ad in right there.
Tyler did it, and he can't get out of his car. He's been
That's
in
true.
his car.
I'm stuck.
Are you literally stuck to your car?
I might be.
Do you have any inclinations to buy Windows 95?
Not yet, but I have been searching QAnon lately without any sort of explanation on why.
Just wow. Are you growing a tail?
I already had one.
You had one, yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Tyler's editing a documentary right now for a living. He's a big time film editor. So if you ever want to film a documentary, Jamie, this is your guy.
He is. Look at
Yeah.
dude. Oh god, my AirPod just died. Is that going to screw up with the thing?
No, I can hear you.
Can hear you fine. I thought you were trying to get out of it.
They both just died. I got to plug them in.
No, it's all good.
All good.
All right, good. Wow.
You got one more question you want to ask Jamie before we start wrapping it up, Tyler? Because I told you he was coming on. You're like, oh, I'm a fan. So this is
Chad's
fun
like,
for me.
come to my podcast. Tyler, ask him questions. Jeez.
This might be
Chad,
like,
you and I can talk too, you know.
No, I know, but I talk to you a lot. So
Oh, we text. We
Yeah.
DM.
we've worked together. I've been around
We
you.
have.
Yeah.
so, but growing up, I was like a stoner fan of Tremors. So I wanted to know how you enjoyed doing Tremors.
Wow, dude, are you still a stoner fan of Tremors?
I mean, yes.
You're old. Are you still a stoner?
At nights, I got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, so I can't, you know.
I had a 3-year-old, so I cut back, but then I got the 1-year-old. That's so funny. Like if you were to tilt that camera down, is there nothing but resin in that ashtray?
No, unfortunately not. I'm not that hard.
Look, I loved it, dude. Being part of that universe was like incredible. I did 2 of them. We shot them in South Africa. It was wild. It was like getting to be in an action movie without, it's not like a huge Hollywood, like, big movie, but it's a big movie for what we made it for, like $5 million. And I got to do all this stuff. And, just be part of that legacy is like those movies, they last. Like people are, voracious fans. So I was like, again, like I've done a lot of different things. I've got my feet in there, and I feel like as time goes, it's just going to be good for me because I've touched different universes. Like, I always tell people I haven't like been on the cover of the mag, but I've been in everyone. You know what I mean? Kind of like, and that's kind of what I've been very fortunate to work in Hollywood like that.
Have you done a Comic-Con yet? One of those Comic-Cons?
Tons.
Are they crazy?
Oh, you mean the new one since the pandemic?
No, just in general, Comic-Con.
Oh, dude, I did a whole video on my YouTube about how conventions jumped the shark about 2015, where it used to be like Boulevard of Broken Dreams. And then, it was kind of like the guy that was the third dead body and I Spit on Your Grave too. But like, there was like fans buying the stuff. And now around 2015, I saw the first Avenger there. But really before that, it was Norman Reedus, who is the god of Comic-Cons. Once The Walking Dead blew up, he really single-handedly put Comic-Cons on his back. He's traveled the world and has done like massive amounts of, he's just huge because of Walking Dead. And then the Avengers came, and then Travolta did one. So it's a whole new world now, and it's incredible.
I heard an interview with William Zabka because he was doing the Comic-Cons before Cobra Kai. And now he says it's another world. Like people would stop by like, oh, you're the one guy who kicked his, he's like, my son wants to meet you. And it was like one dude. And now it's just a line out the block.
I bet he can't move. Like that's example of like how something shifts in the zeitgeist, because You watched all the Cobra Kais, right?
Every single one of them.
Oh, dude.
I was texting Brent Ernst through all of it. I go, dude, you're a LaRusso, dude.
Dude, he's incredible in it.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. And I'm like, it's a paradigm shift, right? Because William, you kind of feel bad for him, who's supposed to be the bully. So it's like the way this could go, and Martin Cove's character. So it's like hooking guys like me who literally grew up on it, hooking guys like you. You're younger than me, but you probably saw it after me. And then there's new guys like you, maybe Tyler, that are discovering it. So right. I think it's so well fucking done. Like, it's incredible.
Well, as a kid, HBO played 3 movies, Karate Kid, Rocky 3. They were always on nonstop. So I watched the Karate Kid more than any other movie ever. So it's a part of my DNA.
Wow. That's awesome. Do you know what the 2 movies I had that Blockbuster, I was like, I never got to return them because I didn't have a car and it took forever and it was just the super late fees. Nightmare on Elm Street and Scarface. So like my sister got them and I just watched them all the time when I was like 13 years old. So that may explain some things.
What was the first movie you rented with you, and what was the first movie theater you went to see you?
The first movie I rented, I think, was Scream. And it was because I had the Blockbuster right down the street. I used to live behind the Laugh Factory, and there was the Blockbuster there right by the Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's now a bank.
Yeah. So
I took the first movie theater I saw Scream in. I went to the Avco in Westwood and just saw it as a normal, paid a ticket. And then I took my first residual check where I lived from Scream, deposited in the Bank of America on Sunset, and went across the street to that Blockbuster and rented Scream. Right?
That's gonna be trippy.
That's meta, right? That's levels to that shit. But I was like, yeah. Dude, you would go in there on Blockbuster and you'd see a wall of movies and you're like, I'm in that movie. Like, that was the big thing. Like, do you even understand that? Like, the wall of movies. Like,
I do. Yeah, that's
you're
me into my teens is when it started disappearing.
Wow. But yeah, so it was wonderful, you know. But now there's I think the whole business is different. That's why it's interesting that you went to the movies, because I want to see movie theaters be robust again.
I'm telling you, they're live and well. And when you come to Tampa, and if I'm in town, I think I will be if I'm not booked, I will take you to a movie. You'll be my date.
I would like that. Do we have the seat between us or no?
Yeah, I still have that thing, whatever that thing is.
Yeah, I got you. You bring an extra hat for me?
Yeah, I got you. I'll bring you a Gilligan hat, and I'll be the Alan Hale Jr.
Yes, you Alan Hale. I'll be Bob Denver.
Okay, before I let you go, how do we get Nick Swartzen out of Key West? He's been there since December. What do we do?
Is that where he is?
He went to Key West and shut off everything. His social media, you can't get
Really?
I heard from
Why Key West?
I have no clue, but a friend of mine goes, "Hey, are you friends with Nick Swartzen?" I go, "Yeah." He's like, "He's been at our hotel for the past couple months. He's at the bar right now." I was like, "Put him on the phone." He's just been hanging out there.
No.
I don't know what he's doing. I think he's on vacation.
I got to check in with him.
Yeah.
But I knew that he went out of LA for a little while, but
since December.
Where's Key West at?
Florida.
I know, but what part?
Like, wow.
Southernmost. Almost Cuba. Almost head towards Cuba.
How close is it to Off the Hook?
That's in Naples. That's 2.5 hours away from Tampa.
Yeah, it's far.
Shout out Captain Brian.
6-hour drive.
Captain Bizzle. Well, when I'm down there, let's take a little little PT Cruiser down to see Nick. We're gonna have to creep up on him if he stocked all his communicado.
Yeah.
We have to make sure he's hanging in there, doing okay.
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, dude. Let's get a fucking beach cruiser and go down. I'm serious.
I'm down.
Where is he at? Is he at a Marriott?
No, he's I forgot the name of the hotel. I don't want to blow up his spot, but I
Don't
have
blow up his spot. All right, but he's good though, right?
Yeah, he's good. He's
okay, good. All right, good. You got me a little worried. You're like, Nick's hiding in Key West. I mean, it's a good place to crash.
Yeah.
You know.
There's a video on YouTube somebody sent me, and he's at some random like dive bar playing with the house band. He's like playing bongos.
All right, if as long as he's feeling good, I'm happy. You know, I want him to be good. I want to make sure. Look, maybe he did earlier than what we did. Is he wearing this type of shirt?
100%.
He figured it out.
He got it all.
Go see him. We got to go see him. Make sure check in with him. But by the way, I like a good Marriott. I'm just saying.
A good Marriott. It's a good hotel. Jamie Kennedy's going to be at Soul Joe Saturday, August 28th. Is that a homecoming show? Would you say? Kind of night. Where's Royalsburg to Philly?
I haven't been there. I haven't been to Philly since 2 years.
Is that the first time on the plane?
Yeah, dude. I still haven't been on a plane. I'm wondering if I'm going to drive it. But I should probably fly. But I'm going to be Soul Joe's Labor Day. I'm the last show. I'm going to be Phoenix next week, June 5th.
Where you at? House Comedy?
No, I'm going to be at Wasted Grain.
Okay.
June 15th through 17th. I'm going to be July 9th and 10th, Vulcan Gas Company, I believe.
Oh, you going to Austin?
I believe. I'm literally closing the deal in between Zooms.
They were just talking about you on Rogan. You should try to get on there.
I would love to. I would love it. And then I'm going to go to Tampa and Side Splitters in August.
August 12th
Vegas
to 14th.
In late July. Yeah, and Vegas the last week in July at Laugh Factory. So go to my website, jamiekennedy.com. I'm trying to make the rounds. I'm hopefully going to drive, do a little cruise.
Your YouTube is Jamie Kennedy Comedy, and there's tons of content. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
So you got all kinds of stuff on there. You got your stand-up, you got videos, you got your podcast, and your podcast you can get on all social. It's Hate to Break It to Ya.
Hate to break it to you with Jamie Kennedy. I got Jamie Kennedy videos on my channel. Go The Jamie Kennedy on Instagram.
You got Rolling with Bob Saget on there?
You know what, dude? I don't have it on my YouTube because I think I have to pay some type of royalty, even though I helped write the song. Isn't that funny?
You have to pay for it?
No, it's like I wrote the song, so YouTube has to make sure that I own it. And since I own a piece of it, they have to approve it. Isn't that weird? But
yeah.
You can't play X amount of music without having a royalty issue. So you can react to it, though. So I'm going to put it up, though. Rolling with Saget, the video, the behind the scenes. There's going to be a story about it.
Tyler, did you see that yet, that video?
Of course. Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, damn. Of course.
Of course.
He said it, of course.
It's kind of a good cut. I think that the kids say that that's a banger.
It was a banger, bro. 06. I actually performed it at a club in Miami on 4th of July in 06.
That's crazy.
Those were the days. It was on the front page of MySpace.
Oh, shout out Jordy Fox.
Yeah.
Look at you, MySpace famous.
Fuck yeah, bro.
This was great. Tyler, any parting words?
No. Thanks for including me, as always. Definitely. I had a blast.
We're up against it, is the kids would say. And I said,
yeah.
Jamie, I'm giving you an hour, and I don't go a minute over.
Well, I can't believe this Zoom lasted more than that. Thought it was 40 minutes, and then it bounces.
We're at 3:53.
All right. Whatever that is.
I get a good feel. I was like, okay, we got the good stuff in. We got the plugs.
We did it all. I appreciate it. You might want to bleep out, you know what?
Okay.
Yeah. The jabs.
Tyler, you know where those are in the video?
Sure. Yeah. The jabs and the pokies.
Chad, let's hook up when we're in Florida.
Yes.
Do it right. Let's go see our boy. Make sure everything's good.
Yeah, I got you, dude. I got you. I'll text you, and that's about a month away, so we'll figure it out. But thanks again, Jamie, for your time. Have a good week. Believe in yourself.
Too,
Vitamins.
I'm glad you're doing well, man. You look great.
I'm in a good
Tyler,
spot.
You look great too. Raise those young kids. Put the pipe down. Pick up those diapers. Move to LA. Bring the 2 kids. Edit
All right.
documentary.
Jamie Kennedy, everybody.
Godspeed, everybody.
That's a wrap.